Okay, so here's a pen from Goulet Pen Company. Well, wait a minute. No, it's not. Haha, fooled you. Yeah, this is a box of vintage pens from my good friend John Summers, who has sent me a number of vintage pens in the past to repair. This has a very special pencil in it as well. He's been very anxious to make sure this arrived on time. He's been tracking it every move. It's here, it's there, sending me email. It might be there today, go look. Well, I looked and there it is. So let's open it up and see. There's a note, and we'll see whether there's anything private in here. Nope, a list of contents. PFM mechanical pencil, that's the special pencil, which is the pair to my very special, in my special case. Here it is, paired with John's Waterman 100. I know he's interested in getting this pen back again, and I'm interested in getting it back to him after repairing it. But he gave me this one. I repaired it, and then he gave it to me. I've been on a 3-4 year search for a PFM like this, 1960, and he has sent me the matching pencil. Unification, he says. Burgundy Waterman's W2-3, repair as needed. Granny's pen for granddaughter. Number 3, MOT, green Arnold shellac the sack. Well, that sounds like a rally cry. Shellac the sack. And then there's 4, Chatoyant Brown Moore Jr., new latex sack, has ink flow problems. Number 5 is a gray Moore, needs a J-bar, nib smoothing, and general TLC. So we will see what we can do with these pens. There's one bag. There's another bag. The PFM out ready for unification with its partner, the pencil. And there it is. And they are reunited. Reunited, and it feels so good. Beautiful. And which one would this be? And this would be the Burgundy Waterman's, typical Waterman's clip from the 1930s and 40s. It's a W23 Granny's pen for granddaughter. It's a lever filler, and it has a tiny Waterman nib, 14 karat gold, and it looks in pretty good shape. Interesting split ebonite feed. So there's the Waterman Burgundy W2-3, and this bag, this looks nice. Look at that. That's a Moore. Chatoyant Brown Moore Jr. Needs a new latex sack, has ink flow problems. Well, without a sack, it will have ink flow problems. And Moore Jr. Can't read that through the camera. 14 karat gold. Cracked ice kind of celluloid. Needs a new sack. Very nice fountain pen from, let's see what it says on here. The Moore Pen Company. It's very faint. I'll have to get my loop out for that. And this, I think, is the Moore, the gray Moore, in this vertical stacked celluloid. Alternating brown and gray. It's a lever filler. Oh, and there's the rest of it in the bag. And he's included a sack, but it needs a J-bar. And the J-bar that's in there, yeah, it's become detached or something. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll keep them separate for now. But that's a beautiful, beautiful stacked celluloid. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? If there's anything imprint on the barrel here. Moore Pen Company, Boston. It says 34A. And again, Massachusetts. I'm going to have to get my loop out to read that. And then we have this beautiful aqua blue and silver celluloid, cracked ice celluloid. And he called this one an Arnold. Is there anything on the barrel? Nothing on the barrel. Lever filler. Small pen. Arnold Pen Company, Petersburg, Virginia. That looks like a steel nib. It looks like a manifold nib. It looks like one of those turned over nibs where they bent the steel around into a loop. And yep, that's exactly what they did. Bent it around in a loop to form the nib. So that requires a little tiny sack. We'll see if the lever still works. Yep, the lever still works, needs some cleaning. Interesting fountain pen. Here they are. We have the Waterman W2-3. We have the Moore Junior in this brown cracked ice celluloid. We have this gray stacked celluloid Moore, and we have this green Arnold. Maybe that's what the sack is for. Yeah, probably. That's what that sack is for. This one here. This one already has the sack attached. I'm not going to attach that because it's a little bit tight and we don't want to crack the celluloid. So there you go, a little box of pens and pencils from John. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pens to resurrect from the dead. And we'll be seeing those real soon. Thanks, John. Appreciate it very much. I want to add to John's box of pens this little addendum here because I've had a bit of a examination of a couple of these pens, and I want to tell you what I'm going to be up to next. This is especially for John's edification. Let's move these pens out of the way for a second and just focus on this gorgeous Moore. This pen intrigues me because the celluloid is so gorgeous, but upon closer inspection, this is what the big problem is with this pen. The filler lever on this pen is snapped off. I don't know whether you can see it or not, but right there, it should be long enough to go inside the pen and push on the J-bar, which is still in pretty good shape actually. Just needs a little cleanup. But it pushes on that J-bar inside and then squeezes the sack. So there's not much you can do about this except remove and replace that lever. Well, you can't get those anymore, and the only levers you can get as aftermarket from like Pen Tooling won't fit this pen. I contacted John and told him about that, and he said I have another of that same model in brown, and he's going to send it to me, and we're going to cannibalize one of these pens. I've got a feeling that this is the more beautiful of the two, and so out of 2 pens might come one. We'll replace the sack, of course, on this and get this pen writing again. The other pen that I triaged a bit was this Waterman, and it is a Waterman W2B, not W23, it's a W2B. And I've got a sack for it. It's a number 17 size sack. And so for my next pen resurrection, we're going to resack this Waterman's, polish it back up again, and get this one back to John because it is destined for his daughter, I think. I think this belonged to John's mother, and it is going to his daughter. So it's a very sentimental, very special pen. There are some stainings on the resin, on the cap and the barrel, so we'll have to see whether we can get those out. But that will be the next on the agenda, and then we'll wait for the second Moore to cannibalize it to see if we can resurrect this beautiful stacked resin celluloid Moore. Again, thanks for watching.
I made this.